So I'm stepping away from the idea of the 9 to 5, and I have some insights I'd like to share with you guys. So let me first clarify something, okay? Because this is very important for me to mention. If you are in a situation where you need to absolutely work to help yourself in a financial struggle, in any situation where money is very, very important right now, especially for your survival, I understand. And I'm not looking down on anyone. I'm simply sharing what I've been through and what I find. Now, if I have to be extremely honest, maybe to some people it might seem a bit more like a privileged position, but let me explain how things are if you are someone who can take that extra step. But yeah, I'm trying to keep everyone in mind here. So, the 9 to 5 for me, I used to work for someone. It wasn't that long of a time. I didn't work for that long in relation to other people. I switched from job to job and I realized that I just wasn't happy. Now, I want to confirm something with some people. You should understand that there are things in life that you have to do, even if you don't want to, but at the same time, you should never be abysmal about life or downright become depressed. That's how you know it's just bad. It's like your body saying, nah, this is bad. This is not good for me. And you shouldn't be in a place like that. So that's how you can tell the difference between what's actually good for you by discipline and what's genuinely bad for you, even if you were to try it and it were to somehow help you. So I realized that it was just taking up a lot of my time. And some people have just been stepping away from doing 9 to 5s in general because it doesn't really help you as much as you think. Like, okay, you get money, you get guaranteed stuff. Sometimes you realize your whole day is gone and you barely spend time with those you love. Or maybe you don't even get paid that much compared to how much you work. And I want to be completely responsible when I talk about this. Because when it comes to money, a lot of us would either want something super idealistic or maybe things just seem unrealistically high as a standard. Okay, I don't want this video to be idealistic, but the reason why I work for myself is because I have better mental health like this. I'm very committed to doing things for myself. I've worked for others and I realized was I was fulfilling their dream, not even my own. And nowadays, a lot of people have been talking about the decline of the 9 to 5, or at least wanting to get themselves out of it. It's because they realize they're fulfilling someone else's dream, being exploited and not doing things because you want to do it. Now, it doesn't have to be directly correlated to, okay, that means I'm going to do content or I'm going to do something online. You can even do something for yourself, like entrepreneurship, sell your own products, do whatever you want to do. And let me explain something, okay? Some people would say it's hard, it's not reliable, but let me tell you something. Even if it's hard at first, the income you can make if things go well is far more reliable than how you would be at a general 9 to 5, depending on what it is, of course. But generally, I feel like you have more freedom when you can actually do things for yourself. And then, as for people saying it's hard, look, life is hard. If you decide to do a 9 to 5 and then you want to do something for yourself, you're still going to learn from square one because you spent times building skills that helped other people. Now you're helping yourself. It's very, very different. Okay. So there are some transferable skills like communication and, just trying to make ends meet. That's organization, all of those things. But the only difference is, what do you want to do? Not what does your boss want? What does this client want? What is this prompt? You know what I'm saying? So I just want to make ends meet in some way, okay? I don't want you guys to take this as I'm looking down on anyone who does a 9 to 5 or whatever. That's not my intention, okay? The truth is, I really want to understand where people are coming from. If you are in a less privileged situation, I understand, okay? And I'm proud of you for working. It's not easy. But if you're someone who knows that it's not going to make you happy and you have a bit more freedom, you have a bit more choice, then I really hope you're doing something you enjoy. Life is so short and it just goes like that. So I hope we could do something promising with our lives. And I know that it sucks. I know that sometimes it feels like a black hole, the rent money, all this stress. I get it. But at the same time, I still think that people should fulfill their dreams because they want to do it. And I'm not saying this in a naive way. You have to work harder. If you actually did earn money and go to a place where you don't earn as much, or you do things yourself, you have to work extra, extra hard. But at the same time, it will be worth it in the sense that you're doing something you want to do. And maybe you might even earn more than you've ever had before. Even if it takes time, it's worth it. And maybe even though you earn in the other job, it turned you into a bad person. So I really wanted to get this point across. And I've also been seeing a lot of videos on my feed as well. Like, okay, people are leaving the 9 to 5. And I was thinking, okay, I think I can talk about this. And a lot of people mentioned in their videos that, of course, it does come from a place of privilege. But at the same time, it's also because it's not true to who they are as a person. And I was thinking, is making this video a bit absurdly different than what I do on my channel? But then I was thinking, because I've done some career motivational based stuff, this should be fine. So yeah, it's not a long video and I don't have the most to say, but I just wanted to tell you guys my thoughts because I really don't want to work the 9 to 5 and I don't want to work for anyone ever again. I just don't want it. I want to be true to myself and do what I want to do. Whether it's hard or not, I've committed myself to this. I know it's hard. And if I'm the one who's going to suffer and if I'm the one who's going to complain, I know what I'm getting myself into. That's how I see it. And as for learning, I think everything's hard. Even if you do something that's bad for your mental health, if you work for yourself, it's hard. There's struggling and pain both ways, but one is actually going to help you guarantee less suffering. If you enjoy your 9 to 5, go ahead. I'm not trying to shame anyone. If you enjoy what you do, that's amazing. But sometimes people don't, and I feel like they could just go up with their potential. There are so many stories out there of people who used to be in the slums, who used to be in horrible locations, horrible environments, and they still got themselves out. They weren't anything special. They just decided, you know what, I deserve better. And they implemented it. It wasn't because they were lucky, it's because these people genuinely had it in them. You know what I'm saying? So, to anyone who is watching this, I really, really hope that this gives you a bit more of an insight and you do the things that you want to do. Life is so short to just live someone else's dream. So, yeah, that's all I'm going to say. And pardon me if it did sound a little bit tone deaf. I have no intention of that. Once again, I'm speaking from a place of privilege where I have a bit more freedom and choice. So I really hope that people can do things that they want to do. And even if you are someone who's struggling and you don't want to live like this forever, maybe do some research as well. I really hope that things become easier for all of us because for me, mental health is the biggest priority. But yeah, hopefully this isn't too absurd of a topic for me. And I'm more than happy to listen to suggestions for topics. By the way, I feel like I'm repeating myself a lot recently, but anyway, let's just aim for a better, realistic future where we don't always have to just slave away. Sometimes we can just let those wings out.